We live in an age that worships numbers on screens. Our wealth is measured in digits that can vanish with a twitch in an interest rate or the click of a central banker's mouse. But here's the unsettling truth. Ancient empires understood more about real wealth than we do. They knew that money wasn't just paper. It was trust, resources, and survival. And in forgetting their lessons, we've made ourselves dangerously vulnerable. Take Egypt, a civilization that lasted for millennia. Its wealth wasn't just gold, though the pharaohs had plenty. It was built on grain. Every year, the Nile's flood made Egypt the breadbasket of the ancient world. Pharaohs knew true power was feeding people. Surplus grain was stored in vast granaries, guarded as fiercely as gold reserves are today. During famines, these reserves stabilized society. Wealth wasn't abstracted, was bread on the table. Contrast that with our modern world, where countries with high GDPs still have citizens using food banks. Egypt's wealth was tangible and unshakable. Now, let's move to Rome. For centuries, the silver denarius was trusted across the Mediterranean. Merchants accepted it because they knew the silver content was real. This trust unified a massive economy. But then came the fatal temptation: debasing. Emperors like Nero reduced the silver and coins to stretch resources. At first, it seemed clever, but people noticed. Prices soared, trust evaporated. By the 3rd century, Rome was in an economic crisis, with spiraling inflation. Sound familiar? Replace the denarius with the dollar, and the story isn't ancient at all. Long before Rome, the Mesopotamians recorded wealth on clay tablets. This was a revolution. Wealth could be written into existence, but they also understood that unchecked debt is poison. Rulers would periodically declare debt jubilees, wiping out obligations to prevent societal collapse. They weren't being generous. They were ensuring survival. Today, we saddle generations with student loans, mortgages, and government bonds that will never truly be repaid. Babylon would have seen the cracks in our system instantly. The Greeks added another layer. Athens sat on a mountain of silver, which funded its navy and democracy. But it was wise enough not to rely on silver alone. It built wealth through trade, cultural exports, and alliances. But hubris crept in. Athens grew arrogant, overextended, and drained its allies. When war broke out, that delicate balance collapsed. The lesson is simple. Diversification is real wealth. Concentration kills it. Then came the Mongols. What could nomadic warriors know about finance? A lot, it turns out. Genghis Khan and his successors secured the Silk Road, creating a golden age of connectivity where merchants could travel safely for thousands of miles. They understood that wealth multiplies when goods and ideas circulate freely. Compare that to today, where supply chains are weaponized and global trust is fracturing. We've forgotten what the horse lords knew 800 years ago. A secure network is more valuable than any hoard of treasure. The thread running through these empires is clear. Wealth was never just about numbers. It was about trust, balance, and resilience. Egypt's grain, Rome's silver, Babylon's debt. Jubilees, these were systems designed to protect societies from shocks. And when those systems were abandoned, collapse followed. Now look around. We have fiat currencies printed at will, their value eroding. Our food systems are so fragile a single crisis sends prices skyrocketing. Global debt levels are astronomical, with no jubilee in sight. Trade routes are now geopolitical battlefields. We have forgotten what ancient empires knew, and the cost is piling up. Inflation eats our wages like Rome's. Debased coins, surpluses are squandered, leaving us exposed. Debt chains entire generations. What the ancients understood is that real wealth isn't an illusion. It's the foundation of survival. You can't eat a stock market bubble. You can't run an economy on money. People no longer trust. Real wealth is food, energy, resources, and systems that keep society from tearing itself apart. We've traded Egypt as grain for derivatives and Rome as silver for paper backed by nothing. It feels modern, but it's the oldest mistake in economic history. So, what's the takeaway? The ancients knew that inflation and debt could destroy empires, as surely as any army. The lesson isn't to copy their systems, but to remember their principles. Diversify your wealth. Understand the value of real assets. Question debt that chains you to a broken system. And above all, never confuse illusion with reality, because history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And the rhyme is clear. Every empire that forgot what wealth truly meant eventually fell. The only question is whether we'll recognize the warning in time. If this gave you a new perspective, hit subscribe. History has the answers, and I'll show you where to look.